Good evening. Tonight, my speech is titled How AI is Changing My Life. I would like to tell you guys about that. I'm going to start by giving you guys a background, and then I'm going to move into some demonstrations, and if I have time, I'm going to show you guys things that I think can help you as well. Let me back up. As some of you know, not all of you, I am severely dyslexic. And for those of you that don't know what that is, it's basically having a very difficult time with reading and writing. And so, like I said, being dyslexic, what that looked like for me. So when I was in school, I was a kind of a pioneer, right? I sat in a lot of meetings where they would say things like, we just don't know how to handle this. Like, we've never seen any kid like you before. And so they were trying to throw things at me that they thought would help. The first thing that they threw at me is called an AlphaSmart 3000. I brought this to class. I would type. So the problem, as you guys can see, is that even though I can type, I don't get the words across quickly. But I mean, as you guys can see, I'll show you an example. I'm going to show you an example of this. And so it was great to have this, but my writing is really terrible as well. And so they thought that by giving me a keyboard and letting me write through the computer, that would have solved my problems. Did not. The second problem that I had as a child was access to books. So they actually had me have a subscription to Recording for the Blind, and I would get my books from that. And in college, I actually had to give them my textbooks, and they would cut them in half and scan each page individually and hand me back a CD. So these things helpful, but not to the extent that we have today. So I'm about to show you what we have today. So with ChatGPT, so if I had to write an email, I just wouldn't. So up until about a year ago, when I started using ChatGPT, if I needed to work in a career that had me writing emails, I just wouldn't do it. And now I can write an email. For example, let's say I wanted to tell my boss, hey, so I'll just say, write this message for me. So ChatGPT speaks dyslexic, which is, I don't know if you guys knew this, no matter how terrible I write, it can get relatively pretty close. Write to my boss. Of course, as I do this, I'm starting to write well, but I don't normally write this well. We have a new employee. What do you want me to do with him? So as you can see, let's see how close it gets. So you can see that I didn't even spell employee anywhere near what it needed to be, but ChatGPT doesn't care. And so that I'm finding it really awesome for that. The second thing that I have on the docket, this is like a book that I want to read, and before the technology was there, I could read maybe 2 pages, and then I'd get tired, and I would just kind of give up, and it would take me a year to read this. So I have this now, and there's an app. It actually uses AI to help it read better, where I can read 900 words a minute. Now, people are asking me, like, can I actually understand 900 words a minute? Not as much. It depends on what I'm reading. But the point is that I can use that to get through the things that I already know, and to the point where I get to the point where I don't know it, and then I can kind of slow it down and kind of begin to read. Like it basically saves my energy in doing that. So that's that one. So this one is really cool. I think for all of us, I'm trying to learn Spanish and Vietnamese through Rosetta Stone. I would recommend it, but you can. I guess it is technically AI. Let's see. For those of you who don't know, the Vietnamese keyboard is kind of weird, and you can get it on your computer, but you can basically type in Vietnamese words, and it'll come on. Okay, so something like, what does, I think it's, don't even have to spell Vietnamese right. Yeah, you just get it close. So there you go. One of the last things that I really enjoy about AI is that when I was a kid, I'd ask tons of questions and people would get annoyed with me. I could sit all day long and keep asking and asking and asking questions, and it'll never stop answering my questions. So I think that's really cool. I believe that is my demonstration. 1 second, let me think. That's it. So I thank you guys for allowing me to do this demonstration, and I hope that you can get a better understanding of what it's like to be dyslexic and the world that we have to fix it. Thank you.